Hello and welcome to a video tutorial, a pilot for a video tutorial with me, Stevie Pics. This is the beginning of what I hope will be a series of useful short tutorial videos dealing on aspects of photoshopping and photography in general. Having a look at the caption card there, you can see what our topic is for today: fixing picture distortion in Photoshop with the transform tool. Okay. Now let's have a look at the image that we're going to be working on. It's our problem and our project, and you'll see shortly why we're going to have to fix it. Okay, this is a family picture. It's actually my father's family. It is one family, I should point out. Yes, it was a rather large family, typical Irish Catholic family. Those are all my uncles and aunts. It's my father on the right hand side there, when he was about 22, and in the middle is the baby of the family, Peter. He was just about 3 or 4 at the time. Now, I took this picture recently at the home of an aunt of mine, and I had to take the picture in quite quick circumstances. I couldn't get a scan of it or anything like that. So you can see our problem. It's very distorted. It's not a regular shape at all. And yet, what we will be able to do with the distort tool is get it to that. If you can believe that's possible, well, let's just see how we can make that happen. Okay, so going back to our original image, what we're going to do, basically, we're going to drag these corners of the original picture, we're going to match them to these outer corners, but at the moment, just before I do that, with the crop tool, there's a lot of excess space here, which I'm just going to trim down. That will make life easier for us. And also, look at the bottom of the picture. As much as possible, we are going to match the crop version to the bottom of the picture. The reason for that is we want to match as closely as possible the original proportions of the picture. And taking that bottom line as a starting point, we know that the picture is that exactly wide. This will basically help us avoid stretching the picture beyond its original proportions. Okay, so going back to this cropping exercise now. Yeah, I'll do it like so. So making it nice and tight at the bottom of the corner there. I've lost a little bit here, so I'm just going to move that a bit like so. And also I've lost a corner at the top there, so moving up a little bit like so. Right, I'm happy with that. We can click on that. Okay, so you can see we've reduced the amount of pulling and work that we're going to have to do to get this picture to where it needs to be. Okay, now we are looking for the transform tool. We'll find the transform tool here on the top in various menu options, and if you look first of all under edit, click on edit, and if you come down, we come down to free transform, transform. In this instance, we're looking for transform. We go across and we can see the various options there: scale, rotate, skew, distort, perspective, warp. We're looking for distort. There we go. Now you can see we have an outer box here, and we have anchor points, and as I said, we're going to get the picture into the correct corners. I'm actually going to start down at the bottom left hand corner. There's no particular design to why you would do that, but at the same time just reconfirming that point about making sure that the constrained picture as we have it is as close as possible to the original. So I think we've got a good match there on the bottom line. Okay, let's go up to our top left hand corner. There we go. Just putting in a bit more. Okay, that will do for me. And then similarly on the right hand side. Yes, okay, fairly clean. Okay. You'll notice sometimes as well, you can see just here, it's moved back in again. Okay, so I'm just going to move that out a tiny bit. And then it's dragged the bottom right in a bit. So returning that. There we go. Okay, I'm pretty well happy with that. I'm going to say yes to that. Okay, now we have, broadly speaking, the corrected image. And as I say, we haven't stretched the image, we haven't distorted it beyond its original properties. So what we have is pretty well true to the original. Just for presentation's sake, I'm going to just do a mini inside crop, because you can see there's quite a bit of wear and tear on the outside of the image. And it would be no harm to lose some of that. We haven't lost too much of the original, so it just gives us a cleaner edge. There we go. So broadly, the image has been corrected of its distortion. Going to give you just a quick bonus section for this tutorial, because we are going to look at the exposure of the picture. As you can see, we have something that's overexposed, flat, and lacking in contrast. So how do we go about fixing that? Okay, well, we're going to have a look at, we're going to get an adjustment layer up in Photoshop. And if I go down here and if I click on this little icon, there we go. We can see the various options that we could adjust with an adjustment layer. I'm going to go for levels. Right, and here in this window we have the histogram for the picture. And you can see that there's very little information by way of the darker elements of the picture here, and not too much by the higher, brighter elements of the picture there. And you can see the peak coming somewhere in the mid-distance. So we need to get that range narrowed a bit to make it a bit closer to what it should be. And we do this by taking these arrow points in here up to the edge of the histogram graph, like so. And we have a range of contrast that's closer to the original. Not entirely there, it's still a little bit bright. So I'm going to make an adjustment in the middle, like so. Okay, so looking back at the original image, there are other things that you'll be able to do. There's the original color of the image. You can see it's blue and brown and stained and so on. So you might want to actually just take some of the color out, which will eliminate those more obvious color problems there. Okay, later on also I would actually probably put in a vignette just to darken the corners, again concentrating the attention on the group there. And of course there's a good bit of spot healing that you can do just to bring the picture as much as possible back to a fairly pristine state. But from that, let's say yes, and that from that to that has been our journey, and we're on the way there. So if you have an old picture and it's distorted, or one that's been badly stored and you scan it in and it's all a bit out of shape, have a go on the transform tool. I think we're just about done there. So that's fixing picture distortion in Photoshop with the transform tool with me, Stevie Pics. Just a very quick recap on the options that we used. We spent some time with the cropping tool. Okay, and then we went into the edit menu, and we were in the transform, and distort was what we were using there. You can see it's unhighlighted now because we're out of the image and it's not selected. If you find that's a problem, that could be your option there. But thank you for your attention. Hope you found this useful, and I look forward to producing another video very shortly. But for now, thanks for watching. Bye.